This is Steve from the NSAF, and we're here at our Project Javelin clinic with Ty Hampton here towards the end of the weekend. And Ty, one of two athletes new to the program that we got here from Oregon. He's a sophomore at North Bend High School. And Ty, tell us a little bit about, I know your first clinic was actually at LSU last year, right?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about how you found out about the program and what made you make that commitment and long trip to Baton Rouge last year.
Well, I would have to give huge thanks to my coach, John Stigler. He was the main reason why I'm doing this. I mean, I picked it up because of him. I mean, without him, there's no way I'd be here right now. And he was telling me all the form, everything, how to do this. And then he introduced me to the clinic. So he did this. He was trained by the same people, and he was telling me how you have to go to this camp. I mean, it's very important. And he sent me to Baton Rouge, and that's when I got to meet Tom Puskis, Duncan Atwood, and those people were pretty awesome. I mean, I learned a lot from them. And
that got you real excited and motivated right there.
Yeah, it did. I mean, I kind of shined a little bit of light on like what I could actually be. I mean, what I could do. And I mean, it's pretty interesting to know that, like, these people trained you and you were good, and it's pretty nice to know. And
well, tell us a little bit about how you got into the javelin in the first place. Was it in middle school, or how long ago did you first start trying it?
Well, I mean, I really didn't throw the javelin that much. I mean, in middle school I threw the turbo jav, but like that was never like important to me. I just did it because it's like kind of cool to have. I just want to like get my name on the board. You know, there's a board in the middle school. I mean, it was a record board, so I was like, okay, I want to be on it because it's not that hard to get it. So I worked on that and I did that. I mean, that felt pretty good.
Were you doing any other track events or any other sports at the time?
Oh yeah, I was actually doing a lot more sports at the time. I was still doing football in 8th grade. I was doing basketball, track, and I was also doing baseball. Baseball. So I was pretty packed, and then came around freshman year. I decided,
what kind of success did you have in those sports? What was your favorite, or what was your best?
Oh, honestly, my favorite, like, even though it is the javelin now, I really like baseball. I mean, it's kind of a passion of mine. I really like pitching. I mean, I was an 8th grader with, you know, juniors all the way up, juniors and seniors. I mean, it was also American Legion. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
And you know,
you were playing with a lot of older kids.
Yeah, I was playing with a lot of older kids, and I kind of like that experience. I mean, I've always got along with like these older people and learned how to deal with them.
What made you really fall in love with the javelin and kind of get it to the top of your athletic priority list?
Well, the reason why it bumped up to the top of my priority list is because I realized what you can do, and 200 is kind of like a benchmark to getting into D1. I was like, okay, that doesn't seem that far for me. I mean, that's pretty reasonable to throw that. And I mean, it just kind of happened. I started working on it a lot more. I mean, I dropped football because of it, and I mean, there's no reason to do it if it's not something that I'm going to progress in further in. Right. So I started working on the javelin a little bit more. Fall, I started doing like, you know, just regular picks, nothing much. And then during springtime, early season, I threw a 170.
Yeah, you had two huge meets early in the year.
I had two big meets early in the year. Then I had a 173, and this is still with like, I still was coached, but it's not like every day like some of these people. I mean, I still like, still love it, and a lot of it was like mental. I mean, a lot of it is all in my head. I mean, that's what kept me from really throwing as far as I think I should have. I mean,
you think you didn't quite believe in yourself as much at that point?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I had, after the 173, I threw a 170, and I got 169, 167, and it's like slowly dropped, but like, it just like, once you dig yourself a hole, it's like hard to like realize that you can always get better. I mean, I stayed there for all season, and it actually took me a while until I threw a 165 at regionals. And then I was like, okay, that picked me up a little bit because I still didn't throw my PR, but I know I'm a little bit closer. And
were you having some injury issues at that point yet, or wasn't that until later?
No, it was actually after region. Well, actually a little bit before regionals. I already tweaked a little bit, but then it just got a little bit worse because I started throwing in the 170s a lot more consistently in practice, and I got up to the 180s, and that felt pretty good. this wasn't competition, just in practice. And
okay.
I knew I could throw that, and that felt pretty good. But then I just tore something. It was anterior oblique, and it just sucked because like I couldn't do much about it. And then at nationals, I was a little bit more healed up. I probably should have thrown farther. It's just like stress and everything got to me. I started worrying about other people. You know?
Just like we talked about tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, now tell us about getting the invitation to come here for this. When did you find out?
I found out a week and a half after nationals. Even though it wasn't a great nationals for me, it definitely wasn't. I know I could have done better.
And how excited were you to find out that we wanted you to come here?
I was pretty psyched. You know, it was pretty cool to know that, you know, you got invited to one of literally the best camps you can go to for javelin and anywhere. I mean, you got the best coaches. You can't find anywhere like it. There's nowhere.
And did you find out at some point soon after that Joe was going to be coming too? Or did you know him at all?
I really didn't know Joe, but I did watch him a lot during state and regionals because I see him in the area, and I knew he was going to be this new younger kid coming up. I mean,
you knew about his brothers and stuff probably too.
Yeah, and I watched him. He's going to be pretty good. You can already see he wants it so bad.
Well, now you've come here this weekend, and you know we saw you have some ups and downs, and then it looked like you really had some breakthroughs on some of your throws. How have you felt about the way this whole weekend has gone?
It felt pretty good. I mean, I was pretty nervous the first day. I mean, first day coming meeting, I was like sitting there shaking, playing with my hands, doing something because I was just like so nervous. I was just like didn't know what to expect. And then the first day came a throwing, and you know I expected everyone to be sore and like all tired, but I really wasn't. So like, okay, I can do this, you know. And just crossovers, I did fine on that. I didn't really get corrected that much, and I felt pretty good about myself. And then I met Jeff Gorski, and you know, he taught me how to throw a little bit more through the point. I was already throwing that, but it was just, how do I say that? I was dropping tail a little bit. Taught me how to throw a little bit more forward, not literally up.
Yeah.
And after I did that, he seen that I was able to correct very easily.
Yeah, I mean, you kept making adjustments as the coaches were telling you stuff, and by the end, it seemed like you were really letting it fly.
He liked that I didn't have very many bad habits and that I could adjust to that quickly. Mm-hmm. And then came the second day around, which was, well, today. And that was when I was, my chest, it wasn't high enough. And I was a little bit down, and I wasn't able to complete the full throw. My arm wasn't able to be above my head.
Right.
And just a small adjustment that Puskas said to lift your chest up, be as big as you can. You're the king. Actually, Kimmo said that. And I thought that, I was like, okay, so I'll try that just because he said it. And Kimmo, you know, he knows everything about it. So I tried that. My last throw was like it was my best one of the whole week. It was, felt pretty easy.
I saw that the reaction, they were like, whoa.
Yeah.
That was great.
And I kind of like their feedback too. I mean, it like, whenever they give feedback, and it like lets me know that I'm doing something right. Because sometimes like that kind of bothers me when they don't start talking, because it's like, dude, am I doing something wrong? I mean, like today during med balls, I had to go over there and ask Gorski, I'm like, dude, am I doing this right? You're not saying anything. And he's like, no, you're doing great.
Well, it's been great to have you here, and I'm glad you've had a good first weekend, and it's going to be a great 2017. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.